in your diary?
What's in your diary?
What's in your diary?
What's in yours?
The man in the mic, his name is Mike, and I'm with Tyra here, and I think this is our diary, or it's hers still. I'm not sure. What's the topic that we're going to be speaking on today, though?
So today's topic is emotions and emotional health.
I always thought that once you got like your spiritual life in order, your mental life, and all those things in order, like your emotions will just fall into place and everything will be all holly and jolly.
No, absolutely
I
not.
tweaked.
And that's crazy that you said that, because I was like trying to figure out emotions and mental health, but they link them together. Like, so many people call it mental and emotional health, but this is two different things.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I was one of those people who linked them together for
Really?
sure. Yeah, definitely. I thought once I get this mental game on point, it's over with, but I never really. Well, one, our mind and bodies are connected, so I think our mind and emotions are connected, but it's just like how we react to them, because we think first emotionally. That's what I picked up on this new book called Emotional Intelligence 2.0. You should check that one out as well if you haven't. Yeah, I'm going through that book right now, but yeah. So it's first that our emotions get past our first, and then it's boom, you're thinking. So, but yeah, I mean they are, but at the same time, I think it's like a muscle that you gotta still like work on your biceps, and you gotta work on your legs, so it's like you don't want to be overly top heavy, and have no leg strength.
Exactly.
Which I think your emotions should be your legs, kind of, in a sense, because I feel like if you got weak legs, you're not going to last very long in the battle, because you're going to get tipped over because you're so strong and heavy in the on the top frame. You know what I'm saying? And if like, since emotions are the first one that kind of get the heat, that connect first when something happens to you.
Because you're instantly thinking like react. You're not even like processing like, okay, let me think about this before I react off my feelings.
I always wondered which one is more important though, to take when it comes to your spiritual life, emotional, mental, finances and all that stuff. Which one is like the most important
to work on?
Yeah. Isn't that all the same are very, very important? Which one holds it all together, do you feel?
So I actually wrote that down. That's crazy. So I put mental health is the most important, and then I put emotional health, and then I put physical health, and then everything else.
Okay. So walk me through your thinking. What made you that list?
Because your mental health, somebody has a mental disorder, like nothing else is gonna work. Like no matter how hard you try, if you have any mental problem, your mind is not gonna work. You won't be able to control your emotions. You're not going to be able to do anything physical. A lot of people, like somebody I know, can barely get out of the bed. Like her mental health is so bad to the point where she just want to sleep all the time and not do anything. She not productive. She not making no money because she just want to stay in bed. So that's why I say that's the most important. But then like if you're mentally healthy, you can work on your emotions. So it's okay, I'm good, I'm ready to go, but then I'm struggling, like I'm reacting to everybody, like I'm getting angry so fast. So it's like, okay, I can't even work with anybody physically because my emotions just taking me out.
I like that thinking. Yeah, that's right.
I thought about this so much because it's just, my mom used to always tell me, oh, you should just go to the gym. I'm like, girl, I don't want to go to the gym. I need to figure out what's going on in my mind first before I can even think about doing that. Because then if I go, then I'm getting like so consumed. I just need to go to the gym all the time, but not worrying about what's going on in my mind. That is where I was like maybe 4 years ago. Like I was just always going to the gym, but I was not taking care of myself. I was drinking a lot, doing a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have been doing. I just wasn't where I needed to be mentally. So I was pushing it off.
So where are you at now with that, you said?
Now I finally feel I'm mentally healthy, and I'm at an okay spot with my emotions. I feel like certain things have happened lately to where like sometimes I'm like a little up, sometimes I'm down, but I like to feel my emotions, but I know what emotion I need to be in, or like what mental space I need to be in. But I actually just got a gym membership, so.
Oh yeah, that's what's
Yeah,
up.
because I feel like I'm finally healthy to the point where I have self-control, like emotionally eating. That was like a big thing. So it was, I was going to the gym, but I wasn't eating right. Like I needed it all to be balanced. So I wanted to conquer the self-control, being able to control myself and not every time something bad happened, binge.
Yeah.
Now I'm finally there.
Yeah.
And I just realized that this week, so.
That's what's up.
I'm happy about that.
That's cool.
I'm
happy for you too.
How about you? What do you think?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna ask you another question,
no,
but go ahead.
Ask me.
What? So I'm getting a sense that you want to feel like prepared, kind of, to go to the gym,
right?
You know, yeah. So then it's just okay.
It's like a natural. So it's more like it's like something now that is. I'm all aligned now. I can do this next step that I know like I really want to do, but I haven't been prepared, because then I would go, for this many months straight and then fall off because I wasn't like where I needed to be. Like one thing would happen and then I would instantly get distracted and fall off. So
nice. And then that's where now that you're prepared, you can just focus on, your fitness journey, and then like love yourself through that whole process, like, fully, where you got everything and, kind of at a grip. I wouldn't say in order, life's kind of chaotic and stuff happens,
still gonna come up, but I got the self-control to keep going.
Right. Yeah. Amen. That's what's up. That's good. I like that. Happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
What gym is it?
Planet Fitness.
Yeah,
I'm starting at the bottom. I'm like, I just need to be able to go.
Right. I feel you. My friend's been struggling with that too, like you said. So I'm hoping she gets out of that rut pretty soon. Maybe I can toss her that idea. Get all your stuff in order before you want to,
It's just like, why am I trying to go to the gym? Is it because I'm just trying to look a certain way? But that's not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to just be healthy and to make not just like going to the gym and working out, but make like healthy decisions, like what I'm putting in my body and stuff like that. Yeah, even lotion and shampoo. I'm switching it all over. I need everything to just be better.
Yeah, the whole switch up. That's what's up. Yeah. She has a beautiful child, by the way. Met him for the first time.
Thank you.
Yes.
He's a little sweetheart.
TJ, you done well, my boy.
But now, where you think you are now? What place are you in? Or even like what you think, what's your top number one, or as far as mental, emotional, physical?
I would side with you in terms of mental. Like, you have to have that mentality to where you're able to notice and be self-aware, what needs to be worked on, what's loose, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and if you're not thinking like that and you're just running wild on your emotions, you're gonna be living a chaotic life, off your emotions. So yeah, definitely gotta have that mental game strong. And for the longest time, I did not get it. I did not know that was that. But then after you get a hold on your mental game, then there's the next challenge of getting your emotions in order, and that's another beast that I just thought was I thought that men didn't have to deal with that like that. You know what I'm saying? But no. I'm tweaking. Street.
Because I feel like that is something that guys don't talk about with each other, and then don't even address. Do you ever ask yourself, like, why am I responding this way? Or, like, why does this make me feel a certain way, like, when anything happens?
I mean, I'm not speaking for every man here,
No, but you.
Yeah, but do I ever ask myself why I react that way? Oh, yes. Yeah, and I dig deep and like why, why do I feel this way? Is it because of something else and all that? Like, I think about this sort of stuff a lot. And and so, like, say if I do for instance, if my ex if I raise my voice or something, you know, and then she's snapping back, blah, 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 then I'm thinking, why did I have to raise my voice at her? Why did I feel the need for that?
Right.
And, well, one, I think it's just the fact that I feel like women...
Press your button.
Yeah, press them and just be saying stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just... You'll rarely see me get mad, but when I do, it's like you see me yelling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's...
You feel like you get mad loud every time you get angry?
I would say my voice gets deeper.
Yeah. Oh.
And if I really care, like passionate about
yeah.
what's going on here, but because of that, sometimes I get clouded in judgment in terms of like how I should react to the situation at hand. Like I'm not thinking logically, you know, about it. Yeah, you know, and like there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with that if the person knows who I am, though.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And ladies, if you're listening and wonder what sign I am, I'm a Gemini. And I view a Gemini like the Incredible Hulk. And so there's Bruce Banner, who's an intelligent, you know, charming young fella, but also he has this other side who's the Incredible Hulk. And if you see in Infinity War, at the end, the Hulk and Bruce Banner are able to make amends and be one together. And that's how I kind of view myself. Like I think I'm finally getting that Jekyll and Hyde person together. And so I'll finally be who I truly am supposed to be, which is both of these people. So like when it comes to, you know, argument or confrontation, that's when the Hulk comes out. I'm the dominant one. You must remember type thing. And I feel like my sweet side is like a real kind of beta personality. But I'm like, no. Like I'm still king. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling respected as such. You know. So I'm protecting that general area, you know, and that's one thing that I learned. Because if you're in love with somebody, that's I feel like that needs to be shared. But I feel like both need to know whose that space really is, though. Yeah. You know, and so I learned that instead, when fights are happening, we're not fighting against each other. We're instead fighting against the problem. Against the problem. You know, and it's more of a spiritual warfare more than flesh and blood. And that's like the biggest takeaway that I've learned from this whole experience with me and my ex. Yeah. And I'm just, let's give it another whack. You know. Yeah. You know? So because now you learn. You know. Yeah. I fall every single day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, but I'm so introspective that I'm bouncing back the very next day. You know, I've gotten to the point where I can bounce back that very next day.
Do you feel like before you couldn't bounce back?
No, and that's where my mental health, you know, was such a problem because I would stay in bed for hours, you know, and just
be in your feelings.
Yeah, and losing sleep, 24-hour days.
Because you were overthinking, like, what was going on.
Yep. And that brings me to the test.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got some questions that I wanted to ask you about it. One, are the results what you expected? From what you're expecting to the results, what do you think? Well, first tell the audience, like...
Okay, so we took an emotional health assessment. Basically, it was a bunch of questions, and it said it was going to take 45 minutes. And it took me at least an hour and a half because I kept having to reread it because I'm like, I got to make sure I'm reading this right. I was rereading them like at least 10 times. I'm like, wait. And then we got to this one point where you had to guess the facial expressions, and that was tough. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what did Mike have me taking? And TJ like, what are you doing? You've been doing this all morning. I'm like, dude, look, I'm just trying to finish. But yeah, so I ended up getting a 98%. Was it out of 100% though?
That's what I was trying to figure out on the chart. Like, what did the chart mean? Are you talking about your percentile score?
Yeah, the percentile. Okay. I guess it has.
I think it has to be out of 100 then. And you said your IQ score was 130 something? 135. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, and that's a very good percentile score. So like, I'm really interested with the questions I'm gonna ask. I want to hear.
Okay.
So yeah, what were like some of the takeaways from the test that were most shocking to you?
First off, I was surprised that I scored that high. Like, I figured I would maybe get, like, in the middle of whatever, like, the highest was. Just because, okay, so one of the things I say is, like, when I'm talking to anybody, first, I feel like I kind of do handle my emotions good. But then I feel like when I'm talking to people and they tell me their problems, I try to take their problems on. So I thought that was going to give me, like, a low score. Because, I don't know, in order for me to relate to people, I have to kind of feel what they're feeling.
So you scored high in empathy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really good.
Yeah, but then I scored low. It was saying, like, I need to care more about people's feelings. Like, that was my only thing that I need to work on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like,
you are
I might
blessed.
be too blunt. But then it did say that I was very empathetic. So I don't know. But TJ told me the same thing. He told me sometimes I'm too honest about... He was like, you can just find a better way to say things sometimes. I'm like, but sometimes if it's something hard, I was like, I kind of just gotta say it.
I think with that, crucial accountability tells you how to delegate that instead of like just being so straight to the point. Because I could be the same way sometimes, especially when I'm just like, this is the millionth time I done told you.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Remembering empathy is like remembering that person is in this emotional state right now. So you got to give them what they need right now, but also what they need to hear too.
Right.
You know, so you got to work your way through that for that person to really hear what you're saying. So like empathy and sympathy are two different things.
Yeah.
Right? So you're probably just little sympathy to where you're just like, I'm just about to tell you what it is. Forget you know?
I think I need more sympathy.
And maybe compassion. That's the one thing that, you know, Darren, he was like, I had told him something, and then he was like, dang, bro, like, what happened to the compassionate, like, like, I used to come to you for compassion, bro, like, now, you know, you're not like that no more. My patience grew thin with the human race for a second, brief moment, you know what I'm saying?
Though.
How often does God have to demonstrate that patience and that compassion on us? Yeah, too. So it makes me look at my heart and be like, oh, okay, you right. And what intrigued you most about the test? Like when you were reading your results, like one thing that, like for example, emotional facilitation of thought. I was like, what the hell does that mean? And then when I
was like reading in the headers, I was thinking like, this is deep, like this is way deeper. And that's when I had the realization, like, why do they lump mental health and emotional health? Like, this is completely different. Honestly, my overall score, I was just shocked. I was like, man, I never knew. I honestly didn't know.
So for real, you only had one limitation? That's wild. Congratulations. Because I had a half a list of limitations. I was, ooh, Lord, we got some work to do. I'm super happy that, you know, it excites me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. Like, who's about
It's
to...
a lot of people that actually don't want to work on themselves. But I was going to say, who don't want to work on themselves? But I like that. Like, I like that it gives you those, like, dang, like, thanks for helping me become better.
You know?
After this hour and 30 minutes.
Praise God.
And the validation too. I'm on the right path or I'm not on the right path, and this is how, like, just the whole concept, I really like that. So
that's what's up. That's cool. Yeah, so I was going to ask, what limitation do you feel is most important to work on? So it's just that one that you got to take care of.
Yeah.
You know, focus on. But that's dope. You can just zoom in on that.
But that's crazy because TJ literally just told me this 2 weeks ago. And we had a whole conversation. He's like, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but, you know, you just need to. And I'm like, all right, I hear you. I'm like, I need to. I'm like, you right. Because he was right. So that was just confirmation. You need to work on this. He said it.
That's
I thought
dope.
that was cool.
Yeah, that is. That's nice how you gotta be working. Like, yeah, I'll let you know
crazy.
Twice.
Yeah. And I'm probably gonna let you know about 5 more times. So.
I was actually surprised at my score because I started reading Emotional Intelligence before I took the test, and then they were like, all right, now take the test, you know? So, but when I started reading, I'm like, this book is tearing me apart already. And so I'm nervous taking this test because I'm like, they're about to show me that I'm really messed up.
Yeah.
But it actually turned out to be pretty decent. I got a 68 on there.
Okay.
On the percentile, but a 106 on the IQ score.
Okay.
So, and they said I'm relatively decent in this area, but there's still room to grow. And I was like, that's me. Like, that is Michael Rea. You know,
that would be
I'm
the
decent,
definition
room
of
to
your
grow.
name.
Yeah, that's the definition of my name. You know, and I like that. How you said TJ gave you confirmation.
Yeah.
Like, I've been working on my vision quest. So, we can dive into that another
Okay.
time. But part of my vision quest was to budget and control impulses. And if you're able to handle your impulses, you can really manage your money.
Yeah.
And impulses are based on emotion. So I already knew that was a weak spot of mine. But honestly, I didn't think... Forgive me, ladies, for being so slow, but I didn't think my impulses connected with my emotions.
Oh, okay.
So like, that's why I turned into the Hulk so damn quick. You know?
Your impulse.
Yes.
Be
like I got
switch.
a 30 on the impulse control. A 30. I was like, damn. You don't have no control. But but there's a lot of other... I'm actually impressed with how this is. Like, I'm pretty happy with the result. But I was like, impulse? That was crazy. Guess what my striving was, though?
What?
100. I scored 100.
that's good.
Oh, yes. I was like, I'm never stopping. Never. Yeah, so that was one thing that I took out, that it was be responsible for our actions, impulse control, remain poised. So if you can control your impulses, you're pretty much going to remain poised, through any situation. If you got the right mindset too, what I'm saying. So I just been like looking over this and like studying this and
That's
looking at the
good.
numbers and just like, these are about to boost up. Like, I'm pretty stoked. I just love self-development. Like, it's one of the greatest things in the world because, I mean, we're human beings, so, like, we're the greatest creation.
Yeah.
So why not explore, like, who we're truly about to become, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you really dive into who you are. So that's how I look at it.
If you can control your emotions, you can become a millionaire, like part of the 1% of the world. And a lot of people who don't become part of the 1% is because they can't control their emotions. Like, basically saying your emotions control everything. And so then when you just said impulses, I didn't even just like connect it. Like, that's true. That's so true.
Yeah, that's why I'm homeless. Out here wilding off impulses.
It's just crazy because it's like this stuff that nobody teaches you. Like, we learned about this in school. Like, I didn't know anything about my emotions when I was a kid. So yeah.
The few things I did learn, which was my final question, was, can you give an important tip on dealing with emotions? This is just straight out, like, what do you do, Tyra, like, to keep yourself in check, to, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is me asking you.
You gotta be able to self-assess. I think that's the main thing. You gotta be able to look in the mirror and be like, all right, I need to work on X, Y, and Z. And because if you can't even look in the mirror and really be real with yourself and say like, okay, I'm reacting to this because of something that happened to me in my childhood, or if you can't do that, it's like, how can you ever become a better person and become mentally stable? And I feel like for me, that's what I had to do. I had to really look at my life and look at like why I was doing a lot of the things that I was doing. For a long time, it was like I kind of knew, because TJ would always say I was controlling, and I would always be like, no, I'm not. And then I had to look at it like, oh, all right, I see why he's saying that, but it took me a long time, like years. He was like, yeah, even people that know you say you controlling. I've talked to them about it. I'm like, who said that?
Who said that? We finna find them now.
So yeah, I had to be able to do that. So yeah,
self-assess, and kind of like what you said earlier about like going through the emotion.
Definitely being in your emotions. Even when I talked to somebody, my friend's aunt passed away, And she was one of those people that would always be like, I just never know what to say to somebody when somebody passed away. I'm like, well, just be honest. And so her aunt passed away, and I'm like, just feel however you gotta feel. Like, if you grieving, you need to stay in bed for 5 days. Stay in bed for 5 days, because you have to go through all those emotions. Whether you sad, happy, want to go lay in that person's bed, like, you have to go through that in order to get through it. So that's another thing that I do. But yeah, how about you?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Self-assess, one of those things. Like, yeah. What I do too much is ruminate on it. You know, one thing that I'm practicing is to, you know, feel it, think it, process it, and then solve it. Like, you know, and then after that, it's a wrap. Case is closed. Let's move it along. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, because you can't dwell on it.
Yeah, then that drag my mental. You know, that's what drags it down.
Because it'll eat up at you on the inside, and
so I've been also just been praying a lot lately after I would think it through and everything, so I could give it to God. And then I know my emotions weren't the only thing I wanted to work on this month. What else can I work on? And the gym, you know, let me go. You know.
Yeah.
So
having those small goals, like setting those small goals.
Yeah, that's one big key, is just like not forgetting that life is still going on, even though you're going through your emotions.
Exactly.
It's like, all right, what do I want to display today? I want to display me. I want to be me, because when I am me, that's when I'm the happiest.
Exactly. So
I got to remember, like, I got to continue to do me, you know? So it's a tough battle. But like you said, if your mental game is strong, you can really grab a hold of your emotions. You can get a grip on that. I'm excited for this journey that I'm about to take, and I'm really excited for how I'm about to unfold, you know?
Yeah, because you'll be about to change so much. See yourself as a completely different person.
Right. One thing that I had learned that I had to, like, kind of unlearn is when I got into the church, one thing that I learned was to toss your feelings to the back. Think about it like a train. Your feelings should be at the back. So I did that, like, I suppressed, but I took that in a sense to where you don't deal with them in a healthy way, you know? Like, so, like, I just took it, all right, forget about feelings, right? You know, and my pastor probably meant deal with them in a healthy way, but, you know, have them in the back.
Yeah, like, don't react off of them because they, like, in the back.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he...
Like, I think he meant always make a wise emotional decision.
Okay.
You know, don't let your emotions lead the train.
Yeah,
you know?
Get the best of it. Yeah.
Because then
You're off the track.
You're off the track.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. Now I, like, had to relearn that. Toss them to the back in a healthy way. Put them in there in order. Have them organized and everything. Not just toss it in the back.
Yeah, forget about them.
And forget about them, because they're going to come back up.
Yeah.
You know? So, one of the major things I took away, a lie that I used to believe. Yeah. One thing that I got to start exercising, you know, since reading Crucial Accountability and working on my emotions right now. I'm no expert or whatever, but like I said, like, I love to, you know, self-improve. So one of the big things that I've been focusing on is communicating with my mom. So yesterday last week I planned to go see the Joker with her and my little bro. She was like, all right, get the tickets. Blah, blah, blah. So I ended up getting the tickets yesterday. You know, we had to work out the time, see what's up. So I ended up getting tickets for 6:15 at the movie theater. But I'm up north. I had a piano lesson, and I'm coming back south, and I'm getting a ride back. We checked how long it's about to take. I'm not about to get to the theater till 6:45. I'm like, dang. Yeah, so I called my mom, see if we can push it to 7, but my mom has work at 4 a.m. So she was like, you know, I'm not really trying to do that. So I'm like, you know, I was able to have a good conversation with her, and, like, just like how I was, like, listening to her feelings, you know, because I'm like, no, like, you know, like, let's go, let's go, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I'm like, you know what, I understand you got work in the morning, I want you to make the decision, like, what do you want to do? But then she's like, let me see what JJ wants to do. I'm like, JJ's gonna want to see the movie, like, heck, ma. Anyway, so, you know, I was like, all right, cool, like, just practicing that, and then I realized that I ordered the tickets to the wrong theater.
Oh.
So I called my mom. I'm like, Mom.
She like done.
Yeah, she's done at this point. She's like, oh my gosh. Like, now I gotta drive all the way there, wait for you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, to be honest, full disclosure, my mom, the way that sometimes she talks to me isn't the most pleasant for my mental.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, she can get to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm listening, I'm just, like, kind of, like, feeling, like, a little discouraged. Like, you know, because I'm trying to work things out, you know, keep the family close, all this stuff. And I'm messing it up. I'm like, damn, you know, so now I was able to, like, feel that for a second and be like, oh, okay, you know, but also I'm still remembering my mom and how she feels. Like, she's got work, she's got all, so with that, I'm able to think about her feelings, my feelings, and it's just like, this is just life. This is, you know, this happens, you know what I'm saying, bro? You know, you was really trying to make this movie, you know? And then my little brother heard about the story. He's like, oh my gosh, I guess we can go at 7. And then, you know, once I told her that, then after that, so it just ended up not happening.
Y'all didn't go.
We didn't go. Like, it just dead mission. And I was like, dang, you know, like, let them down type stuff. But, like, so this is what I said. 10:14, on this day, I failed to make movie night happen with my mom and Jay. Both were unhappy, and as my mom expressed herself, I stood calm and listened to her. Even though it was an honest mistake, I felt a little ashamed and sad. But I also was happy because I got to practice communicating with my mom, admitting my fault, and I got to deal with my emotions in a different way. Because, like, when my mom, like, there was a point where my mom was like, I told you. And like, to get the movie tickets and all this, and I'm just... All right, Mom.
Did you address it at all?
I wanted to call her today. And,
okay.
You know, I was going to call her and be like, yo, I'm not upset or nothing, but I just want to talk about, just, like, maybe understand a little bit. Because I didn't think it was going to take an hour and something to get back.
Right.
It was just, like, good for me personally, where I was able to work on that and just see... You're actually still in a good mood after your mom got done talking to you like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because in the past, you kind of noticed that you would let that get to you. That's good.
Yeah, I would let that turn me and think like, oh, like I'm failing. And then there's a weight kind of on my shoulder that I feel like with my little brother and me being older, you know, I want him to see execution and being a grown man, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he can see my failings and be like, I don't want to do it, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, if he takes it like as that, then good. So next week I got it, you know, the next week.
So, did y'all lose? You lost your money?
Refund already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, luckily.
I'm like, dang.
Yeah, so it just sucked. You know, the main reason why I kept missing my train stop, because I would get involved, whether I'm like, I'll be writing, and I get really into that. I'm reading the Emotional Intelligence, so it's like, should I be upset? I was still like, you know, growing at that time, and everything happens for a reason. So boom, put that to the test right now. Then you know what I'm saying. So it was good.
Yeah, it's like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, a blessing in disguise. You know, my mom probably still thinks like this man got his life all discombobulated. But it's all good. You know, next Tuesday.
Yeah, at least y'all get to go back.
You know?
So, what would you think, like, after taking the assessment, what is your definition now of what being emotionally healthy means? Like, if you can sum it all up.
Being emotionally healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, I think being self-aware and knowing what to do with self at that moment in time. Think that's being emotionally healthy.
Yeah. I just said able to control your moods and emotions and handle them in a healthy way. So
similar.
Yeah. Pretty much the same.
Yes, very. That's dope. That's good.
And then just curious, how do you feel like you express your emotions as a kid compared to, like, do you think it's the same as now, or have you grown since then?
Yeah, definitely. There was no really much expression. There was more just, there was either mad, like Incredible Hulk mad. There was like crying a river. A high intensity of all emotion, you know. So
like if you was happy, you was like really happy. Okay.
Yeah. If I'm depressed, I'm really depressed. Like it was just that, you know. And yeah, and I just feel like through the years, now that my frontal lobe's fully developed, pumped it's finally all coming
Yeah.
around. Your boy's growing up. You know?
That is crazy. I'm actually reading this book so that I could be a better mom. It's called The Whole Brain, but it's the kid version. And I didn't know that. Like, that's why it was just explaining like all these things. And I'm like, wow, like that's why as a child they don't want to share. It has nothing to do with like them not wanting to share. They don't understand because that part of the brain hasn't even developed.
You know, yeah. I was shocked. Like I was shocked learning this stuff. A little background about me, fans and listeners. From the age 19 to 24, I was in the church training to be a pastor and stuff. And I'm thinking I'm living this, righteous, lifestyle and all this, pure emotion. In my eyes now, like I was like, kid, you thought you had it, but you didn't. You know what I'm saying? So God's really just like humbled me and showed me so much more, and it's so great. It kind of like pierced my soul, like knowing this. I was like, who did I think I was?
Right.
Like who did you think you were, boy? Mr. Big Step. Like, but now it's just like, okay, I get it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it because I feel like next year I'm going to be learning something a lot completely deeper, but it's like so complex it all wraps together. It's all for one specific reason. So I'm pretty excited.
That's good.
For sure.
So I definitely encourage y'all to go ahead and take that emotional intelligence assessment. I'm going to leave the link in the show notes. So yeah, check that out and then you can write us, let us know. Follow us on Instagram at It's Not Your Diary, and you can DM us your results if you want to share those. If you have any questions about the results, we're happy to kind of help you sort through that. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're definitely trying to do something different with this, and we want to keep encouraging y'all to share this podcast. Definitely let me know what y'all think. If you have any suggestions, any things you want to learn about, definitely hit us up. And we'll see y'all next week, same time. Bye.